All right, what's up, guys? We're here with Duce Robinson. So I'll let you intro yourself real quick, though.
Duce Robinson, Pinnacle High School out of Phoenix, Arizona. Yeah.
Yeah. So I heard you're the top tight end in the nation, and you're also here at Area Codes playing baseball. So what's it like balancing both football and baseball and performing at such a high level in both?
It's really cool to be able to play both and be able to do both because one day I'll be out here at Area Codes, and the next, like, just tonight we've got practice, and but it's a lot of fun. The challenge of trying to do both, and yeah, it's really a blessing to do both.
Man, so when did you kind of realize you're a stud at both sports? Were you always like both playing all sports when you're growing up, or was it like you had to make a decision between two or three? Like, when did you realize you could do both and you could do both at a high level?
I grew up playing a bunch of different sports, but I kind of fell in love with both football and baseball growing up. And I idolized my dad played both at Florida State, so I always idolized him and wanted to be like him when I grew up. So looking up to him, it was always my goal to play both, and yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Man, so what's the recruiting process been like? Like, do schools come at you and they're like, "Hey, we want you to do both," or like, "Nah, we want you to like play one sport, play the other sport." So what's it been trying to balance? Like, hey, if you want to play both in college, like, what are colleges kind of trying to tell you and when they recruit you?
For the most part, the colleges have been really good about, like, if I wanted to play both, they would let me. But I don't just want to play both. Like, I want the coaches to want me to play both. Football coach wants me to play baseball, and the baseball coach wants me to play football. So that's actually kind of helped me narrow down a little bit, just based off of whether or not they would want me and encourage me to play both.
Who's your biggest inspiration in football and baseball, like in both sports respectively? Who are like in the professional? Who do you look up right now in both sports?
Right now I would probably say Aaron Judge, because it's kind of hard not to look up to him. What he's doing is insane. It seems like every kid right now kind of wants to be doing what he's doing. And then I would say on the football side, I really like Calvin Johnson. I grew up watching him, idolizing him, wanting to play like him. Because I always kind of felt like I was kind of like him, a big receiver.
Sure, yeah.
So I always looked up to him and what he was doing, and right when he was in his prime was some of my earliest memories. So I would probably say those two.
Yeah. Is your mindset on the field in both sports the same? Like, you step in the box, step on the football field. Is it the same, or is it a little different for both sports?
That's a good question. The biggest thing I would say is just compete. My mindset when I step on both fields is just compete. Show that you should be out here, show that you belong out here with the rest of these guys, and so yeah, my goal is just always to compete and then elevate.
Yeah, for sure. What's your experience been at Area Codes? How have you liked it, and what's it like playing against some of the top players in the country?
This is a really, really cool experience. Being able to play with and against the best players in the country. It's an experience like no other. It's a blessing to be able to be here and playing, and so yeah, and they did a really good job putting up this whole event. You can see why it's one of the top events for baseball.
Yeah, true. So what's your training routine like? Do you just train as an athlete? Like, you have a trainer who like programs you, all right, this part of the year we're doing baseball, this part we're doing football, or is it just like you're training kind of the same all year round?
So my dad's actually my trainer, which is that's a blessing. It's super nice because he knows exactly what I need, and he probably knows me better than anyone else in the world. So being able to have him as my trainer, for the most part, we're just working on being an all-around athlete. Then when baseball season rolls around, we'll add baseball things to it, and football season rolls around, we'll lean more to the football side. But now, for the most part, it's just focused on being an all-around athlete.
Yeah, true. All right, what's your biggest goal for the rest of the year?
My goal is to win state in all three sports. Because I play basketball too, so I would say that's probably the biggest goal above any individual goals is to I mean, make my team better in any way possible. But then, you know, winning state in all 3 sports is the ultimate goal.
All right, that's awesome, man. Any last thoughts you want to say to the people watching?
I mean, not really, but be great. Be great.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro. That was awesome, man.